Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show. I'm Mark. This week we're doing steak quesadillas. I've got a pound of what my grocery store calls fajita flap. This is probably flank steak or close to flank steak. I believe flap and flank are related, but they're not quite the same thing. We're going to start with a marinade so that we can unlock some flavors and break down some of the toughness. So we're going to start by cutting up 3 limes. You may wish to roll them first to try to express some of that juice. Once that's done, you're going to juice them into a bowl or into a large plastic Ziploc bag. My Ziploc bags are not the right size for this, so I'm using a largish bowl. With that done, we're going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Then we're going to run a bunch of garlic through a garlic press. Again, garlic press gives you more garlic per garlic. That's just science. You could also mince the garlic. I prefer pressing. I love garlic, so measure it with your heart and use as much as you want. To that, we're going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of salt, kosher, couple twists of freshly ground black pepper because we like it, maybe 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and 2 teaspoons of cumin. We're going to whisk all this together. Then we're going to add our meat. This is a riff off of another recipe that includes things like pineapple juice. You might be able to put that in there, that's fine. I don't actually necessarily like marinating in a bowl because it's a little harder to flip it around and let it soak a little bit more. So I'm going to give everybody a douse, and then I'm going to put it in a bag. This is about half the size of what I wanted. The box looked big, so I trusted it. That was stupid. Whoopsie doodle. Pour about half my marinade in the bag now. Oops. Dunk the rest of the meat. Pour the rest right on top. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge overnight. You can do less than that, but the longer you let it sit, the better off it'll be, you know, to an extent. The lime juice and the salt from both the salt and the Worcestershire sauce will start to break down some of the toughness of the meat. So tomorrow when I make my quesadillas, it'll be nice and tender. Okay, it's the next day and we got a couple more things to do before we can slap it together. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and peel an onion. Now we're going to chop it in half and go ahead and slice it. Go as thick as you want. I'm going to go semi-thick because I like onion. And then I've got 2 decently sized jalapenos that I'm going to go ahead and core with a spoon. You know all about that. If you like heat, you can go ahead and leave in the cores and the seeds, or just the cores and take the seeds out, whatever you want. But I'm going to go ahead and dice them. So now I'm coming over to my stovetop. I put some oil in my cast iron skillet. And I'm going to drop in my vegetables. Going to go ahead and give our meat a pinch of salt. I went ahead and gave our veg a pinch of salt, and then Jerkins is going to cut around me calling it meat. Now my cast iron skillet's been preheating. I'm going kind of high over here. And I'm just going to start dropping my meat in. Okay, so the meat should finish pretty quickly. You may have to apply more oil just because of all the juices in them. Once it boils off the initial brunt of the sauce, you're going to be left with, you know, the remains of Worcestershire and juice, which is going to caramelize in the bottom. So you might want to add some additional oil. The veg will still probably finish before the meat. Get that as dark as you want it. I usually go till I get a little bit of charring on some of it, and then I stop and let it cool in the pan. Pull it off as it finishes, re-oil your pan, and finish off any stragglers. Okay, with that done, we're ready to carve. We're going across the grain first. I like to do it this thin and kind of small because it makes it easier to eat. Again, it is kind of a tough cut. The lime juice makes it very flavorful, but it doesn't always tenderize it as quite as much as you'd like. Now, from here, you can make fajitas, you can do whatever, but I'm making a quesadilla today, like I said, so that's what we're doing. Okay, from this stage, medium heat. Now for this, I do recommend getting the biggest tortilla you can get for the pan you have. However, I am, as is well known, gluten-free, and therefore we have to compromise a little bit. This is a gluten-free tortilla from Mission. They're okay. Okay. Now, I almost always overfill. You're going to take a little bit of everything, and you're going to drop it right in your oiled skillet. In case you missed it the first time, you get your meat, you get your veg, you get your cheese, give it a little fold, and just drop it on the top. Try not to burn yourself. Flip it when it needs flipping, right? A little darker than I wanted, but that's okay. Same thing over here. That one's about right. The challenge with the gluten-free tortillas is it's very difficult not to burn gluten-free anything, and pull them if you even think they're winking at being done. With the flour tortillas, I like to go until they're crispy, and then I like to cut them. With these, you can't risk it as much because you either burn them or they come out undercooked. You're playing on hard mode with gluten-free, and it's difficult. You serve these up however you want. I'm going to go with the classics, salsa and sour cream. I was going to toss a little cilantro on, but I think we'll save that for next time. I'm hungry, and I'm dispensing with the pleasantries. But man, look at this quesadilla. Okay, like, subscribe, ding the little bell, maybe leave me a comment down below. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.